Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis coming to you from the Drew Estate Studio. With me today is Jiunn, Lou, Seth, guys, and from the Villiger Cigar Studios, John McTavish. How you doing, John?
Power to the people.
What's up? John's got all the red going on, man.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't actually think this through because I just kind of throw on a shirt and I threw on my Dublin Liberty shirt, to represent the Dublin whiskey thing. But then I looked at the backdrop. I'm like, wow, that is like a grade A rookie error right there. So
No, the biggest rookie move is when you wear a green shirt.
Oh yeah.
I did. When I was doing primetime with Coop, Nick from Foundation was on, and I had a green Foundation shirt, and I wore it, and I just kind of blended in. I just had a floating head in the, background.
It just floated. Yeah, just some of the stuff that everyone's smoking around Nick. Everyone probably thought it was really happening.
That's right.
Did you see that video of the Fish concert where they had the
oh yeah, the drones that were the fish and
the fish and the whales above.
Yeah.
And people on Twitter are like, you can't do that to those people.
You're gonna have so many heart attacks in that crowd.
Like, fuck, it's a whale.
I'm freaking out, man.
Exactly.
All right. So today we are talking about the Davidoff Winston Churchill limited edition 2022. Cigars are Perfecto 5 7/8 by 61. If you want to look up any other cigars that have that size. Comes out of the Davidoff factory in the Dominican Republic. Wrappers from Ecuador. Binder is Mexican San Andres Negro Seco. Filler is Nicaraguan Esteli Seco, Condega Seco, Dominican Piloto Mejorado Visus, San Vicente Seco, and Visus. Price point is $34. Cigars released in February of 2022. And we picked up these cigars from Corona Cigar Company. So if you are in Florida and close to one of their locations, be sure to stop in for a cigar and libation, or you can order online, and you know where to find them on the web. So,
and apparently they'll deliver libations. So that's awesome.
They will do that. All right. So with all that out of the way, Jiunn, what was your overall experience like with the cigar?
This was an odd experience. So I thought the opening was good. The first third ish. It's a medium-full strength, medium bodied. Does a good job of giving some dry red pepper spice on it. Light toasted nuttiness, cedar. But the second third transitioned to this super harsh, wood bitterness that it's almost like
it's like licking the inside of a wine barrel.
Yeah, and it just cakes on your tongue, right? And you just can't get out that taste, which is nasty, and it's so disappointing because one of the things that I thought Davidoff does so well is giving you a really nice clean palate on their offerings, and this basically does the opposite of that. This was a miss for me. My suggestion is to smoke something else. Yes. Yep.
All right, Seth, what were your thoughts? Gotta unmute.
That's what happens when you take a few weeks off.
That's right.
It's fucking rookies right there, man. Listen, medium, and that is my child behind me. You're gonna have to.
This is age restricted channel. There can be no children in the
no
video.
children.
Go get some melatonin. Listen, medium in strength and body. First third started showing some creamy citrus coffee qualities. A little bit of pepper here and there, barnyard and cedar as well. And that kind of actually just carried on to the second, and even the final third. And I kind of, with the Perfected, they usually don't do that. Usually there's some transitioning, at least in the middle third, but I didn't really find much of that with that in Cigar. It kind of just stayed pretty consistent throughout, which I guess that's an accomplishment if you're trying to do that. But it's usually there's some transitioning with the ring gauge changing. Again, though, medium in strength and body, nothing wowing. John?
So just like I flex about my cigar collection, I'm going to flex once again about the fact that my name gives me absolute freedom to say whatever I want about any Winston Churchill releases, because that's my name. I'm Jiunn Winston Churchill. That is my legal, well, one of my legal names. So I am a Winston Churchill. I can talk about this cigar with impunity. I have a mark from the Queen of England to talk impunity. I'm with Jiunn. It started out good, maybe not kind of what I was expecting out of the profile, because it was a little bit more full bodied than I think a lot of Davidoffs are. Baking spices, wood, some bready notes, some mossy character, which you kind of expect, like mossy and mushroom is kind of a definitive Davidoff flavor profile fingerprint. But man, oh man, did it take a hard transition in the second third. And Jiunn talked about it. I mean, honestly, it just felt like it felt like somebody's took a slate of an oak cask from a wine barrel and then shaved it over top of the tobacco. Like there was just an almost overwhelming amount of tannic wood. And that was kind of the profile. Like it had a little bit of bread and spices there, but they were just run right over by the tannins. And it wasn't unpleasant. It was just a stark change from the first third. And the last third was kind of more of the same, like mossy wood, tannins, and just kind of a dank mustiness. And I was like, I don't know who your target audience is, but I feel like we smoke enough Davidoff, so we should probably be the target audience. And like that just wasn't what I was expecting, and I didn't find it particularly enjoyable. The burn was excellent, so there's that in it, but the draw was resistant, which I guess you could say would be part of the profile, like the Vitola maybe. But it was a little snug, so I had to dock some marks, which is odd for a Davidoff. So overall, an average experience for a limited edition 2022 Davidoff Winston Churchill. So, Aaron, what about you?
Yeah, for me, the cigar started with musty cedar and a very mild baking spice. A mushroom note joined in fairly quickly, and some toastiness joined the cedar a bit later. I also got a little bit of minerality that joined in. And the second third saw the minerality mix in with the earth. And the final third saw a little bit of a vegetal note kind of join the profile. I thought the cigar was pretty boring, as the flavor profile was kind of mixed up the fullness of the components at times. Flavors, weren't anything that were really exciting. I also had a snug draw. And that was actually, and when I say snug, I meant like not a little bit tighter than I prefer. This is like, it was a snug draw.
Oh, damn.
And I couldn't get it to loosen up. So that was a detractor, smoking it that way. But with this being an LE with a high price point, it's just not worthwhile to spend money on this cigar. I wouldn't come back to this. I wouldn't tell anybody to spend money on this cigar. It's a huge miss. All right, let's get into scores. I'm going to start at the top with John, 5.80. You have to give it the high score because your name's on it. Seth and Jiunn both gave it a 5.75. I gave it a 5.35. So John, how'd that 5.8 match up for you?
Listen, it bears repeating because everyone slags us on this. Price does not factor into the score. However, I will say that if you put out a cigar that's over $25 and it scores below 6 points, you should send a check to Aaron Loomis at developingpalates.com and refund the money. And I'm not joking. That is unacceptable. It is unacceptable. There's no limited edition at that price point that should score that low. That is a complete failure. I whether it's fair or unfair, if I'm spending more than $25 on a cigar, I expect that score to be 6.5 or above. That is what the flavor delivery performance should be to justify that cost. And it was not. It was extremely disappointing. And we didn't talk about this. That smoked in 1 hour and 35 minutes, which, if you're Davidoff, that's normal. If you're us and, you don't think that's normal, I would have expected the smoking time to be between 2 hours and 10 and maybe 2 hours and 30. So, the value proposition was also shot. So all of that to say, it matches up well, which is very disappointing. Very disappointing.
All right, Jiunn, 5.75.
It's a terrible score for all of us, all in the fives and with this kind of a price tag. It's another disappointing Davidoff new release. I mean, there's no reason with all that great aged tobacco that they have, they can't find some good chefs again, and this is like the worst thing they could do, and they're doing it. So
is it great aged tobacco? No.
They do
Just
have,
aged tobacco.
well, better chefs. They need better chefs, I think.
All right, it's 575.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's really. I remember the 2019,
Oh,
which I really loved.
So
Even even like the 2016, which was like years and years ago. But it's really gone to crap. I don't see how you can't reproduce 2019 and just do it again. Like something pretty similar to it. I don't. Sometimes trying to do more is just more, and this was just, I don't know.
what does he say in Monty Python Holy Grail? You make me sad. You make me sad.
My 5.35 matches up well. I thought it was an average flavor profile throughout. Had some not so great construction, so that took it down even further. So, yeah, just not a good showing at all. Final thoughts on this from you guys?
Oh, I'm not done. So on top of the fact that I expect a flavor delivery of 6.5, I think you've put yourself in a position where any sort of construction or draw related issue is unacceptable. It just isn't acceptable. If you buy a luxury good, it has to be flawless. Like that is unfortunately the floor. And, in the green room, Seth was talking, I think, about the Cigar. And I was like,
Grand
how
Cru.
could you, which one?
Grand Cru.
Oh, Grand Cru, pardon me. So Grand Cru, how could you justify smoking this over a Grand Cru?
Mhm.
I couldn't.
You like black bands? I don't know.
Oh, I guess. You want to be in a fancy lounge and be frou-frou and drink over a Weller pour that's 5 times more expensive than it should be.
Yeah.
I guess if that's your shtick, but I would hope that someone who's spending that kind of money appreciates the value and sees the big catalog of Davidoff and goes, look, like I can name 8 cigars that are better than this on their worst day.
There's so many people who just pick up one of these and then they're like, they just, and probably don't pick up another one. They do it again. And then I think every year, listen, you do this once a year. I guess there's probably consumers. Well, crap, there are consumers because we are too. That listen, we bitch about it every freaking annual release,
And then we go buy it.
and we keep going buying them and reviewing them. And we're like, this is the worst year yet. And then the year after, man, this is the worst year yet. Why are we buying these things?
I mean, you said it, Seth, when you said the 2019 release. I mean, the 2019 release compared to this, it's like a whole nother class of cigar.
It's really, yeah. It doesn't matter. Like, I don't care if one's a Robusto versus this elegant Perfecto, and this one smoked better. Like in terms of draw and construction, it smoked better than the 2019. But that had flavor, and that at least I thought it had flavor and had complexity. This was just like.
Aaron said boring, and I feel like that's not harsh. I feel like that's pretty accurate. Is boring.
Yeah, it's just it's a waste of time.
What needs to change at Davidoff, Seth?
I don't know. I'm not even gonna pretend to.
You don't want to answer that?
Eddie.
I think you see it with a lot of these companies, though. I think Dominican Republic was one of the few places, though, where there was a little bit of stability, because I think everybody at the beginning of the pandemic just went back to the DR. No one went to Nicaragua. All those people stayed in the States. All the DR people went back to the DR. So, like, I think they were there. They're in the fields. They're in the factory. Like, they could do that thing, but.
Let's stir the pot because it's fun. Do you think that Davidoff is resting on their laurels? Like, do you think they've sort of gotten comfortable with where they are in the marketplace, and they're like, this is good enough? And they're not sort of pushing the envelope for, continuous improvement.
Yeah, I think they just. I don't know. It seems like they just stopped. It seemed like I think they realized, like, oh, we don't need to do these stores anymore. These aren't making enough money for us. And then they just, I don't know. It's like either that or they maybe like, man, we got carried away there for a while and just were going absolutely nuts. But it's just, they've forgotten who they are. I feel like it's just. That's my opinion.
I will enjoy at the PCA talking to Davidoff accounts, assuming I think there'll be some Davidoff accounts there, and asking them off the record what they think, how they honestly feel about, like when you bring this into your store and you smoke it, what is your reaction? Like I assume they sell, but like, how do you feel about that flavor performance for the money?
Oh, they sell.
Yeah, because there's also not that many ultra high-end cigar brands out there either, right?
No.
I bet you most retailers you ask, John, will say, no, I liked it.
Yeah.
None of them are going to be like, yeah, between you and me, this was shit. No, they're going to be like, no, I liked it. I really could get behind it. And then Davidoff will be like, see?
Yeah.
But
then again, look at Putin's approval rating in Russia. There you go. I mean, I'm not saying they're Putin, but I'm just saying no one's gonna fucking.
Kind of seems like you are. Kind of seems
no one's
like
gonna tell. No one's gonna tell. No one's gonna tell the truth on it. No one's gonna be honest about it.
Speak truth to power. We're not on the Davidoff payroll, nor will we probably ever be after this video. But just do better. You have the tobacco. Just do better. Come on, you can do it. We've known you've done it in the past. Just do better.
Yeah. All right, wherever you're watching this video, be sure to like and subscribe us, but check out the full written review on the website. Follow us on all the social media channels, and you catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, so iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.
Winston.